Oh, what is going on, everybody?
We're back in this intenseness.
It is Pixel Partners. We're back in Phoenix, right? Just where we left off. We're still fighting Acro, trying to talk about how he could have dropped the bust out of the fucking window, and I'm finally claiming Money the Monkey has done
so
something.
Pretty. I love her.
She is. I just want to. Okay. Of course, he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home.
Gasp. Home.
Money lives and
Was there a phone involved?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room. They just fucking. Oh my god.
Oh man.
But the bus was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Maybe you should put the whip down sometime and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny.
Gah!
Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room.
And he carried a tuba, remember?
Yeah. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
That was his way of admitting it.
In a way, yeah.
Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Is he yelling?
Yeah.
Where's the bus in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. Oh, she's flustered.
Yeah.
This is a rather strange turn of events, as per fucking usual. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait.
He has a whole plethora of shit.
You mean this bust was a murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them.
So it's not as complex as I thought it was.
Maybe. We'll have to see as it goes along. Because maybe since he had that, he was like, this is perfect. That's why he'd write the note and be like, okay, we'll go and use this. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron! Yeah. You fool!
You idiot!
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow! Don't seem so flamboozled, that's a word. Especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud?
Yes. You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix, Wright.
So you need to shut the fuck up.
Excuse you?
And what is that?
You should know.
Ah, fuck.
You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. I'm gonna say it first.
She is sassy, and who was the murderer the clown saw?
Are we gonna do it?
The bust.
I saved. I'm gonna roll with it. Inject it. I'm gonna roll with it.
I mean, that's how he floated back up. Oh. Was I right?
He saw Max's
I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Mon frère.
Whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, sure.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Yeah, that. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Sorry, I only took French for 2 days before I dropped out. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he didn't actually see the man himself. it wasn't a human being he saw.
Was I right? Was I Phoenix right? How is that possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust.
Boom! What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette you saw was wearing a cloak.
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust.
Boom! Yes!
It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's
Yes,
hands.
because it looks like shoulders. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust?
It doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of most importance in this case, don't you agree?
I do agree, so I'm gonna save quick. Thank you, Judge. Hey, duh, he caught me.
Don't! So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
I mean, realistically, it comes down to either Money or Acro himself.
I mean, I'm guessing it'd be him, right? I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear his cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then how does this person get a hold of the cloak?
Well...
Uh-oh. Furthermore, how would this person have gotten the cloak onto the bust, I wonder? Because this person was not spotted at the scene.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Okay.
Reload.
They potentially gave us a hint that's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So...
Who... A monkey couldn't do that. So...
I'm...
Like, who...
Because... The only two people it could have been would be... It'd be either Russell, who was there, potentially wearing the coat towards the crime scene.
But why would he put it on
or
the... Like...
Max?
But that would be totally... Because we're trying to defend Max, Evan.
I know, but they stated the fact that Max wore the coat to practice.
Oh, do you
And
think
that's why it
maybe
was in the
he,
room.
like... No.
Alright. I'm gonna try Russell.
No, that makes no sense.
It'd have to be either Russell or Max. Which throws a whole bunch of things in a loop.
But what about Regina?
Why would she be at the crime scene?
I don't know.
I'm gonna roll with Max. Nope, that's the
nope.
same thing. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and try Alright, I'll go ahead and try
Gumshoe, obviously.
Russell.
Fool! Him?
I told you. Russell.
Are you're saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying.
The victim himself placed a cloak on the bust?
Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. But
The right way?
The right way of putting it.
And what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself.
I mean, there's a chance maybe the coat got hooked on it when it fell, because the cards are kind of like sharp and jagged. Yeah, she's getting pissed.
Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this?
I'm fine, Maya. Finally putting all the pieces together. He says,
You say
confidently,
so.
apparently.
Okay.
There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope.
Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene.
God, I've lost my... Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens.
Pun intended. Oh, that's how the hat got left there.
Yeah, he probably leaned over, it fell
off. Okay.
And then...
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Doink.
Oof. Really?
And then it hooked him.
I mean,
right
I
on
guess
the
that
cards
makes
at the front.
sense. And then he got lifted up. You wait just a second, sir, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be.
It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. The circus isn't over yet.
What?
So it hooks it. Okay. The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up.
Yep. I knew it happened somehow. Oh my god, look, I pulled a U.
Yeah, and that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be.
That's why there are no footprints.
Everyone's just like, what?
Everyone's like, oh, fuck, that makes sense.
So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene.
Yep.
Acro, it could only have been you.
He's still
calm as fuck. Huh.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now.
So?
What now?
You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale.
Winded.
Whatever, doesn't matter. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Fuck. Mean.
Evidence?
I've forgotten what that is.
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
That's not fair.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
Okay.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Something in Moe's testimony?
That's...
What?
It's a hard one to figure out.
Does it have to do with what Moe saw?
We don't really have
in terms
anything...
of like the symbols? The cloak, the silk hat, and the white roses are his symbols.
I don't really know what I have. Russell's autopsy, time of the 1015 case, blunt force. I don't really have a Moe testimony or anything.
No.
Pleasant Suit of a Clown, that doesn't do anything for me.
Should I look it up?
Go ahead quick while I'm searching through this.
We haven't needed this for a bit, so...
Should I use the note? Is it time for the note?
Let's see.
Because this is about the accident that happened 6 months ago, and we have the rest of the evidence to prove that. If it goes down that trail. Are you not there, or?
Acro's physical state. We already did that.
Yeah, we're
But then, like, what's that?
not in part 4-2 yet, so it must be... okay, so it must be the silk hat?
I guess it's the hat. Weird. But...
Well, I guess because okay, let's just throw this out there. The problem is Max's 3 symbols.
I was gonna say...
You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in most testimony.
The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other.
But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions.
You fool! Do you ever shut up?
Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. Yes,
oh yeah, because
it
he
makes
said
sense.
yeah, because the statue. Yeah.
Yeah, because the hat's on. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust.
But I didn't know how to put it into those words.
Yeah, it was weird to...
I knew it was one of the symbol things, but I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one. But what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? He was facing the other way.
Of course, I can explain it all.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses?
Did they fall off? What?
Oh, I think they're
just
tucked
got
into the
covered,
cards.
yeah.
Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up in the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust.
And that's how he saw that it wasn't like, let's make
Order! Order!
That's how he was able to see that it, wasn't a bust, too.
Yeah.
This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel.
It's not gonna be that easy ever in my life.
And he's just...
Huh?
Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes I did. Is something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that?
Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. That is true.
Yeah.
Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster.
What if he wasn't trying to kill the ringmaster? I think I've said that like a few parts before. Because the point is that this was never...
Maybe he was trying to kill Max.
The point is that he's still... There's a potential. But what would Max have done 6 months ago to make that be the case? Because the only thing I can think of... God, it's so weird. It's so weird. Because this whole note of to the murderer... Because, I mean, why would he be mad about the lion? Because he was trying to fucking fuck the lion up because his brother's still alive, but I guess you'd be like, he's technically fucking dead. I don't know. It's... Alright, we're gonna have to think about this as things keep moving along.
Because, like, he was dressed up as Max.
Yeah.
So... I mean,
We're gonna have to keep figuring this
Your
out.
Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive. Huh.
He had to have been trying to kill Max.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. The squad will now take a 10-minute recess.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Cause he was
He was dressed like Max.
and he was wearing the top hat. You wouldn't be able to see his head,
Yeah.
you know?
It's just that Max isn't really tied.
Everyone hates him, except Regina.
But the to the murderer thing is what has that note that we have is to the murderer.
Yeah, but
That's the note that Acro made and had Regina.
But it was in
accident
Regina's
pin on the bulletin
pocket.
board. Because he tucked it in there, remember?
Yeah.
That's what we're going with. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And I think he was straight away the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus.
There we go. There's the accent.
Jeebus. Am I that hated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did? Psst, psst. But I'm a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey, pal.
He was trying to get their attention.
You gonna know me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
What? Detective Gumshoe!
Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways.
No, Gumshoe, come back.
No, detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't we let you relax? Why don't you relax a little?
Yeah, we got you some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, detective? Well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was
that's that cloth.
yesterday in Acro's room. That what's-her-face took. Von Karma, remember? She's like, I would be taking this.
Oh.
Remember?
No, I remember this, but I maybe might have an idea what's going on. And this still makes Max a dick.
Why?
Because the whole
He's
thing
included the forensic results.
Take a look. Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? You straight up took it from her.
That's why this is all a secret.
She's gonna kill you.
Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not
Literally.
really allies or anything.
You'll die.
But everything that's happened in court up to now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma doesn't seem in control of things in here just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans?
What?
That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided
You gotta
until...
say in the accent. German accent. In that.
Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part.
I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing.
Don't scare me like that.
Sorry, little girlie. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Oh, you shouldn't have my darlings.
Oh my god. Oh, that's terrifying.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay, so do we have that in our evidence now?
Court is now back in session.
We do. What's it?
All right.
Bat scar stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper.
Okay. So that's a key. Is the pepper there? Because like I said, someone put...
I think the lion smiled because he was about to sneeze.
I think he sneezed when he fucking snapped his neck.
Oh, he sneezed.
Because if you sneeze, your mouth goes up when you sneeze.
Yeah. And he wouldn't have had control over his jaw when he sneezed, so snap.
So
Someone put pepper on it to get...
here becomes
But Regina gave him that scarf.
Yes.
But why would Regina want to kill Bat?
No, I don't think... Because my biggest worry is that he obviously thinks that probably somehow Max did it out of like... If Max is so super swoony over Regina, and you
so
got
was
Bat over there, then he probably thinks
then Max put pepper on
that
Bat's
Max
scarf.
put pepper on it to try and get it. What probably happened is because if I remember right, Bat used to throw pepper at Regina to make her sneeze, and maybe if she was wearing that scarf, it got on that scarf, or if she had it, it might have gotten on it with residue left over. So it was on there by accident, most likely. But he probably thinks that Max did it trying to kill Bat because he wanted Regina to himself.
Yeah.
So he thinks that Max
and
is
that's
the murderer.
why he tried to kill Max, but it wasn't Max. It was actually the ringmaster.
Absolutely. I think that's the key that we've got.
Yeah.
And if our theory is correct, we probably don't need the walkthrough to get through this. As long as we get the right
Okay, I'm going to
keys
put my
of
phone
vocal
over
things.
here. I'm going
All
to
right.
get some Mountain Dew.
We're going to fucking light the fuck up with this live wire. It's going to liven up this case. Enjoy this 5 seconds of fucking silence chugging, unless I let you do that first, and then I'll let you talk and I'll drink like this. You're going and finishing it up. And then I'm going to have Mountain Dew, sponsored by Livewire.
And I wish. If our, if our theory is right, I'm going to be so fucking pumped. Like...
It has to be.
Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It goes along with how complex this game likes to be.
Absolutely. All right, did you say the chorus now back in session?
Yes.
I think you did. All right.
Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. Yelling and shit.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. That way to see, that he has no motive to kill him. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling,
Yes, Your Honor.
please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want to answer to you.
What?
Okay, the fans are just like,
What?
don't ask me things. All right, about the ringmaster. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster?
Because he thought he was Max.
Yep. This might be my last chance to ask the question. Of course I'll fucking... The defense has the right to cross-examine the witness.
Excuse you. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
I mean, it's kind of in my... For all... Justice for all... Look, anyways.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
Will do, Your Honor. All right, about the ringmaster.
Do your thing, spiky man.
All right, so when we were little, we were abandoned by our parents.
Yeah.
And Barry took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. Let me try and press this, and then I'll go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster?
How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard.
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Hick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
What do you think, Nick?
I don't know. I think the more I cross-examine him, the worse I end up looking in the end.
You mean...
I get the feeling this cross-examination was a trap.
Yeah, Von Karma set you up again.
Does that mean we have to go back?
We should.
We might have to go back
Let me
if
check
we look up the
to
thing.
see if we shouldn't have done that.
All right, well, I guess we'll figure this out by next time.
Oh boy.
Did I fuck up? We'll find out tomorrow.
Probably.
I probably did.
Probably.